listening to Poetry Slam with Bellz.
I'm TayDZ.
Yes. Y'all already know it's an even episode, meaning no B-Mite this week. He'll be back next week. So we're going to start the episode a little bit differently because Tay, we like to try new things.
We do?
We do. And we're going to start the show with a slam instead of ending it with one. Almost last week, a few days ago, we had an eclipse, a total eclipse.
You did. It was nice.
It was really nice. It seems like so long ago, but it was really like 6 days ago. Almost. No, 5 days ago.
It was definitely it definitely took up that entire day. Definitely took up the entire day's attention.
Yeah, it was all over the news. A nice, fun, easy story. Unfortunately, because we live in Maryland, we didn't get the advantage of seeing the total eclipse. Mm-hmm. We just saw some of it, and we got to look at pictures, like all in different parts of the country that did get to view it. There's going to be another total eclipse. It's just going to be in a whole other part of the world. This one was going through the United States. So my auntie in Texas saw the total eclipse, but a lot of the states actually missed it because it like split up the middle of the U.S. So this is kind of what we saw. Just a little slice.
Still pretty cool though, honestly. That's I didn't have the glasses, so I couldn't look up.
I was stuck in the office, so I couldn't see through. But you know what, T? We're going to do a slam talking about the things that aren't going to block our sunshine this week end. Because it's the end of the week.
Okay.
I'm going to start my slam a little differently. I took a note of something that got on my nerves this week. So, I'm going to start with I'm going to start in the spirit of beat poetry. One technique they use for beat poetry is stream of consciousness. So I wrote this in that style. I'm going to riff some. Let's get started. Let's try to go for 3 rounds. I'll go 3, you go 3.
I'll beat on some bongos for you while you do your beat poetry.
You'll be on some. Yeah, bring that jazz. Bring that jazz. And you know what? Soon we'll bring in some Beyonce when she releases her rock album because we know that's going to be Act 3. Okay. Oh, support for my theory of why Act 3 of Beyonce's album is going to be a rock album. Because early in her career, she was very inspired by Tina Turner. Legendary rock star. And it seems natural. Okay. So the slam prompt is, what's not going to block your sunshine this weekend? A stinking, ashy Negro won't take my sunshine. A stinking, ashy Negro just rolled out of bed, didn't wash his mouth, lint falling from his hair wherever he goes. Whichever day he doesn't behave like an eggplant face, telling me I can go every time he strides down the hall like everybody through the window. Is some type of imbecile. His foolishness won't dim my glow. I laugh at him because his rudeness will never, ever block my rainbow.
Whoa. Okay. In the style of beat poetry, then, I will also give you stream of consciousness. I just can't promise you that this consciousness will stream so much as it will trickle out inconsistently, but let's go. Long hours, long days, eyes getting heavy, bricks on my forehead, slowly drooping my eyelids down to my knees. Heavy feet like I'm walking in concrete, of course. At the very least, I'm getting a little bit of green, but it's not as gas as I thought it was. No, no. I must see the forest instead of the trees. I must look forward, don't look back. But boy, howdy, does my back hurt. TayDZ.
No chance for advancement, won't take my sunshine. No chance for advancement, struggle to my degree, reach a level where I am pleasing to society. Nothing in life coming easy, like earning another dollar to pay off debt rather than buy tickets to a music fest. Paying taxes like someone correct rather than blow on NFL tickets like cigarettes. My hair being frizzy mess after I spent 4 hours styling it. The rain, oh the rain, trying to blur my pride and glory. And time speeding up more and more as I can't even stop my aging. My memory degrading. I'm waiting for my expiration. Fade me out. Eliminate me. This life is getting too real. Please, somebody help me. Take it away. Oh, Calgon, I need a bubble bath. Oh. But it won't take my sunshine today because I'm still marching. Okay, Bellz.
Marching down the hall like a good soldier, waging war against the clients who continuously battle against our good work. No, actually, I want it this way. Actually, I don't care what you have to say. You thought you wanted this, instead, you wanted that. Put it over here, not over there. Oh, please. Actually, I think we should try it another way. I put 2.5 hours of work into laying all this down, and then you, in 2.5 seconds, you say, actually, I want it over there. Like an indecisive wife, you instead tell me maybe a little bit to the left. And now my brain has left the conversation because there will never be a right way of handling one of you nasty clients. TayDZ.
TayDZ, you say like an indecisive wife to the left. Maybe that's why she left you and replaced with something with something that can shine brighter than this exhausted moon. But let me get back on topic about what won't take my sunshine. What won't take my sunshine is looking at ramen hot off the stove at night, spinning in a circle. I was looking at the chicken flavored powder like it's pollen, chicken flavor and bee food. I'm the bee, looking for flowers to pollinate, to keep growing, to move along. Oh, please, sun, shine on me, help me grow, give me your warmth. I am worry free. K-Bells.
Sunshine down on me, I am worry free, says the hippie, going through the beat. Oh my goodness, it's the 50s, now the 60s. Free love, she says. And then she learns that everything has a cost. You know, the client tells you, oh, I don't want to pay that. I can't do that. Can't you give me a deal? I've been here before. Oh, I'm one of your most loyal. Please. Actually, last time I came here, you gave me this. Well, client, I didn't give you that. Somebody else gave you that. But like a rat, you continue to come back and get more than you absolutely do not deserve. And unfortunately for me, I have to give it to you because The customer is always right. And maybe she did leave. She definitely left, but guess what? I'm always right. I just want to say right now that every time it is Bellz versus TayDZ in a poetry slam is essentially a hydrogen bomb versus coughing baby. So
what? Who's the coughing baby?
well, I don't have to answer that part. I assume you can infer that coughing baby tends to be the one who is on the lesser side.
That's you.
Perhaps.
Well, you know what baby is on my side. This one.
Oh.
Yes, you guys, we watched the Good Times animation on Netflix. I loved it. I thought it was so funny. I'm not an easy laugh. When it comes to comedy shows, I'm usually just entertained. I'm not really laughing like every 2 to 5 seconds like they want you to laugh. But this show was so funny to me. I just like that they said whatever they wanted. They did whatever they wanted. I was not a fan of the end. I only watched the first episode, but I thought it was funny. The dad, first of all, it grossed me out. Like the dad in the shower, they had him naked for such a long time, and then they like showed you his butt hair, and then when he got out of the shower, they had suds on him, and they had those suds swinging. I'm like, y'all, ew! Like the shock value they put in this show, and then the black girl, she's like the black teenage girl character. I liked her. I think she's supposed to be like a caricature of like a social justice hero. And it was funny. Like she was on strike the whole time. She wasn't bathing. She wasn't eating. They were going to eat spam and leftover spam and onions for breakfast. Ew, what the heck? That is not a leftover anything. Like you can barely cook that once. You're going to cook it twice, huh? Mm-hmm. But she was thinking the whole episode. And then like people were ignoring her protest, and then at the end of the episode she's like, yeah, I could pick up the struggle tomorrow. I'm black. I'm just like, this is so funny. This is so funny. The only complaint I had about her character was that her tights had holes in them. You know, one thing I liked about the Good Times characters from the original show is that those black people always looked pristine. Like, although they were living in the projects, you know, that was an era where black people, like in terms of how we looked, we kept ourselves like very clean, you know, like I feel like a part of the, like, I don't want to say the aesthetic, but a part of the nature of living in the ghetto is you have to maintain a look. You know, that's why they have the word like ghetto fabulous. That's why, you know, a lot of people with no money wear counterfeit, because it's all about having the look. Like you have to look right. You know, that's a big part of that culture. So for me, the teenage girl having like holes in her tights, it's like, that's very contrary to what the idea is supposed to be. And you're like supposed to be overselling the idea. But yeah, that was like so funny to me. And then the mom, I really don't like the plot line that they gave the mom. They put her in a scenario where she was in this competition to like compare her apartment unit to the other apartments in the building. I honestly, I don't even know what the competition was about, to be honest. Like that's what signifies to me that it wasn't even good. Because at first I was thinking, oh, is it like a pageant for who has the most pristine unit? And then it turns into a thing of, oh, it's not just about your apartment, it's about your family. But a part of me was feeling like, why would this woman who's living in Section 8 want to even participate in this? And then they try to contextualize it saying, oh, you get free rent for a month and 2 weeks without roaches. But I just felt like, it's not really the same as like the white suburban mom who's entering a cherry pie contest. Like, it just, I mean, I get that they're trying to play on the aesthetics of, okay, yeah, we live this way, but our place is like clean. We're just really a victim of our environment. I have no idea. I just didn't like the competition. I didn't like it. It didn't really make sense to me. They didn't like put it in enough. And then the way they ended it, it didn't really pay off. The baby, the talking baby, the gangster baby, so funny to me. I really love that when he talks, everybody can hear, well, at least his family can hear. But it was funny to me in the moment when she was going to get the baby baptized and he starts talking and everybody else can hear him talking. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Like, everybody hears that the baby can talk and they're all freaked out. And then the teenage boy, I think he's supposed to be um Ray Ray. Who was the funny boy?
JJ.
JJ. Yeah, he was supposed to be JJ from the original series. JJ was like the major comedic relief character from the original Good Times.
Mm-hmm.
And the teenage boy, he just came across as stupid to me. Like, and I guess that's kind of what JJ was. He was like the idiot of the family, you know, and everybody else had sense, so it was funny. But yeah, I also like the part of where the dad was like, "Oh my gosh, you know, we got to get the hot water turned back on. I have to go to work. I got to make an honest hustle." And he's driving his cab around town and he cannot make any money. And it is so funny to me because everybody's paying him in everything except money. Like, they're paying him in Bitcoin. They gave him counterfeit money, like a $24 bill. They gave him a fake coin. I'm just like, dang, ain't nobody got no money. Everybody's running a game. Everybody's running a scam. So that was funny to me. And then I really liked, this is the last thing in Tay, I'm going to let you go off. But the other scene that I liked was the one of all the babies in the little toy car. Like, that was just funny to me. It's just funny to me to see gangster babies. I'm not even tired of that joke yet. I think that's funny. And it was like Birdman, Lil Baby, and Da Baby, like all the babies. And I think babies are cute. So I just like that they're getting so much screen time. But yeah, Tay, what did you think of of Good Times?
I didn't think it was very good. I didn't think it was. I guess we.
Okay,
I guess we have two different senses of the term of the word good, which is fine. We all have different opinions. So I guess to answer your first, I guess to kind of go behind you like the janitor a little bit, not to clean up, but sort of to add context to some things. The black girl, I forget her name, the daughter, I don't remember her name. She's supposed to be like she's like a version of Michael from the original Good Times, where they both kind of portrayed like the uber Black Panther. Well, Michael was like a Black Panther almost. She's just like a Black Lives Matter type of activist, you know. But they both kind of fulfill the same role. The show.
I'm sorry. I just read a headline of some of these reviews. Go ahead,
Yeah, no one likes it. Well, not many people like it. I think.
Hey, tell us your opinion.
My opinion is that,
and then we will say others' opinion.
My opinion is,
but you know, before you get your back up, take your position.
Also, the woman with the holding the contest. The point of it, I guess, the humor is in the fact that they are in the projects and she's still bougie enough to try and have a darn homeowners association level contest amongst these like friggin' Section 8 housing friggin' apartments. Like, That's sort of where the humor is, I guess. She's just really bougie. Uh, Even though she's like ghetto fabs, as you say. Um, their fashion, I mean, holes in the pants is fashionable for some. Um, and I
Those
think
are
I
a lot
think
of people style.
yeah, but I think that's also fashionable too in some aspects, like holes in
It
the
looks like
stocking.
dirt.
Some
Hold
who
on, let
love
me
it.
show you.
And as for the older son, what's his name? Forget his name. I think what they're trying to show is kind of like with JJ, because see, in the original JJ was not very smart, but JJ was good at art. And so where JJ lacked in one aspect, he was able to get over with another with his skill, a skill he actually had. And the way that they show the son, he's a very talented artist, and apparently he can play pool pretty well. So, you know, the way they portrayed the son is that he's just one of those kids who academic learning isn't for him, but he's a good artist. So basically they're kind of just doing JJ again. Uh Me personally, if this show was named anything but Good Times, maybe I'd rate it a little better. The fact that they try to slap on the Good Times tagline on it, you know, makes it worse because Good Times is a very grounded show. It's a very grounded sitcom. And then you got the baby, Lil Baby, and Baby Baby as babies in a darn little mini Tonka truck pulling out Uzis on another baby. You know, you got them also doing friggin' baby ninja arts, against the darn family in the in the climax. You got talking flies. Like it doesn't feel like Good Times. Like if you're gonna make a Good Times sequel, make it like Good Times. This felt more like Family Guy or the Cleveland Show. It didn't even feel like Boondocks. Like people were trying to compare it to the Boondocks. I'm like, well, no, these are two different shows trying to do two different things. Because the Boondocks, this level of like satirizing the black community was a bit better. It was a lot better. I can't go into all of it now, but Aaron Magruder knew how to criticize black people without making us look like fools who can't and will never change. This just makes us look like I don't know. It's just one of those shows where, and I'm not just trying to hop on the hate train. I just genuinely watching episode one, I had one good laugh, and that was the baby joke. And then that was really it. Maybe uh like 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 maybe no, I can't even think of one on top of my head. I think it really was just the whole the baby, lil baby, baby baby. That was just the funniest joke. That was the funniest joke they produced, and they put it in the trailer for a reason. So yeah,
Ah,
yeah, it's just I don't know. I don't find
okay.
it super original. Mm-hmm.
You didn't like it, Tay. Well, there are lots of people who agree with you. For example, this writer for Variety says Netflix's Good Times reboot is dated, humorless, and baffling.
Mm.
I think you definitely agree with this person. I mean, putting it
Mm.
in context of like 50 years ago, Good Times was the first sitcom to depict a two-parent black American family, and then you see like this animated black family. Yeah, in the context of that, yeah, the animation is disgraceful. It
Mm.
is. Um, I mean, yeah, I thought it was funny. I thought it was lighthearted. I just didn't think about it really. Like if you watch this and you just don't think about it, it's really funny. But if you go in with like a critical media mind, then no, you're not going to like it at all. It's not very forward for Black culture. As a matter of fact, you could say it further indoctrinates Black culture into I guess I don't think whiteness like we're so separate, but like the American idea of what black is, but
Mm-hmm.
isn't really. I mean, I think it's kind of what they accuse Lena Waithe of, which is making black stories for white people. But I feel like it's a black story for black people to laugh. Maybe because I'm a black person and I thought it was really funny. But I don't know. Once again, if you take it lightly, it's funny. But if you think about it even a little bit, it's not funny at all.
Mm-hmm.
um
I
yeah.
tried. I really tried. Like, I wasn't trying to just not laugh. Like, I genuinely tried to laugh at the jokes, and they just felt like it felt like I could see them coming from a mile away. You know?
Oh really? They were
Yeah.
pretty obvious. They were like on like nail on the head or like hammer right on the head of the nail type of jokes. And
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's a part of what I liked about it. That it was just like so silly, like so in your face. I didn't like the ending because at the end she doesn't win the competition. And I thought the ending was kind of cheap because the lady who was running the competition, she says, "You were late by 6:01. Whatever happened to color people time?" You know?
Well, oh yeah, like I said, she's bougie. She's a bougie black person who thinks she's high and above everybody else, but she's living in the same ghetto as the rest of them. She's just pretending that she's not. So she gives herself a reason to be bougie. Like, that's sort of where the show kind of relies on you to be like, aha, yeah, I know that person in my neighborhood. Yeah. Yeah, I know that person in my neighborhood. I've seen them around before, you know. And I feel like there have just been better shows that have done the whole this was like living in the hood experience better. Everybody Hates Chris did it better. Original Good Times did it better. Sanford and Son did it better. I mean, if you
You
want
just
like,
you just feel like so many people did it better.
yeah, this felt like they had a bunch of black actors together to just sort of phone in something, and then Seth MacFarlane, like, who helped produce it, and then Steph Curry, who helped produce it, so they could have a black name on it. So they'd be like, "No, no, guys, a black person helped produce it." You know,
Well,
they
you
had
know,
one of the animators and slash writers from the Boondocks working on the show too, and he left the show due to creative differences. So yeah,
I mean, some of the black people involved have gotten hate. So the original creator Carl Jones wrote
yeah,
on Twitter slash X. He left the project during the development due to creative differences, just as you said. But Yvette Nicole Brown, who voices Beverly, Beverly plays the mom, is the mom in the series. She's being attacked on X for just being a part of the show. So
yeah. I wouldn't attack nobody. They're. I guess they're trying to get a paycheck, and maybe that seems kind of like a sellout move, but maybe black people just need to make our own stuff and not have the whole ghetto thing fun. It's sort of like, you know,
but black people did make this, and this is what Yvette Nicole Brown, who's being attacked for her role in it. This is what she said about the show. She says, "This show." Hold on, let me just share so you can read it with me. What's that? My computer's slow.
mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, you can see it. Great. She says this show is
Well,
edgier
irreverent
and
is a
more
good thing.
irreverent than the good times of our childhood. But it's still a show about family, fighting the system, and working to make things better despite where you start out in the world. That 100% lines up with my values. So she's one of the main characters and she's defending it. She really believes in the project, but Tay, a lot of people are on your side.
I
Someone's saying the show
mean,
is racist. It's hard to see.
what's she gonna say? Like, you guys are right. This show is pretty trash. Like, she ain't gonna down the show that she working on. Like, I'm not. I can't take her words seriously on it. You know, like, then they slap Norman Lear's name on it. That man's dead. you know. But like, you know, he produced it. His estate's gonna get the money. I don't know. It's like, I mean, there was something that somebody on there said something like, I don't know. I had another phrase in my head. I can't remember it now. But like, it's like, I don't know, like Trailer Park Boys. That's a popular Netflix show, and that depicts white people in like trailer parks. But it's also like, you know, that's maybe they just. I think they do it funnier, and maybe I think we're just tired of seeing hood stories sometimes. You know.
A lot of people feel that way. The person who wrote this review on Variety says Black creators and talent have vast experiences across political, social, and economic backgrounds. Like our white counterparts, we can express our experiences as we see fit. Yet, amid the recent shuttering of numerous Black led shows, including Rap, Sugar Honey Iced Tea, Southside, The Wonder Years, just to name a few, it's pathetic. Hollywood is championing depictions that reduce Black people, racism, and systemic issues into one dimensional minstrels lacking present day relevance. What's worse is that the writing in Good Times just isn't funny. That
Hmm.
is a quote from Aramid Tinubu's TV review on Variety.
If the show was funny, I'd be able to forgive it a little. You know, like I said, Trailer Park Boys is funny. There's a show called what's it called? Reservation Dogs. It's about Native American kids on a reservation. Like, you know, oh look, Native Americans on a reservation. Ooh, but like apparently that show has an audience. That show was apparently deemed funny. You know, a show about white people being trashy in the middle, and you know, white trash, like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. That show was seen as funny. A show about a bunch of Jewish people being
Oh,
jerks, Seinfeld, that was seen as funny. Like,
Shameless. Shameless is funny. That takes place in what is it, the east side of Chicago?
mm-hmm. Wait, is it? No, no, I don't think there is. No, there's no east side of Chicago.
I know it's in Illinois.
It takes place in Chicago's back of the yards neighborhood on the south side.
Oh, the south side. That's what it is. It's the south side. Yeah, but
Yeah,
that
I
that
don't know.
show is really funny. Yeah.
Yeah, like
You
you
know
can
what?
get away with a
I will
lot of.
say this. There's something novel about seeing poor white people on TV. But there's nothing novel about seeing poor Black people, because I still feel like the idea of who's supposed to be poor is like it's perpetuated. Like Black people are supposed to be poor, white people aren't supposed to be poor. So I
Mm,
feel like that plays a big difference. Like there's something novel about the poor white family just in our social perspective, even though it's not a
mm.
novel thing at all.
Yeah, yeah. You know, there are so many shows about a certain depiction of of certain races being poor or being broke or being awful people, and they succeed because they're funny. Like
The thing
that's.
is, oh, sorry.
Mhm.
But I just want to say, to add on to that, when you see a poor white family, you're not comparing it to any sort of standard of realism. But when you see a poor Black family, you're comparing it to a standard of realism. And when you look at other Black stories, for some reason, when we analyze Black fiction, we're trying to compare it to a type of realism. It's supposed to somehow depict our reality or how we really live our lives. And I think that's a part of the grievance we have with Black stories. We can't just have stories that involve Black people that are just made up. It has to be grounded in some sort of reality. And when it doesn't get right, people get upset. Or when it is too much of the wrong reality, people get upset. It goes
Mhm.
back to the argument of, well, why can't we just have fun stories? I think that's a part of why people like Bridgerton so much, because it has leads of color, but it's completely in an imaginary world.
Not completely. It's in a realistic world, but it's just in a. But yeah, it's in a. It's in a fictionalized version of something that was real. Like The
Right.
Regency era was real. Queen, which by the way, kudos to Shonda Rhimes for actually being a little real, because Queen Charlotte was partially black. So that's interesting. That's just interesting. That's all. But yeah, just because black people made it doesn't mean it should be supported. I mean, I think it's going to get support because black people support black, and you know, but I can't rock with this one. I just can't do it. And that's fine if you do, but I just can't. I
Hey,
can't.
hey, I'm not saying I'm going to watch the whole season. All I
Mhm.
said was I liked the first episode. It was funny to me. I was actually shocked at how funny it was to me. I went in there thinking, oh, I'm going to think this is so stupid, whatever, whatever. But
Mhm.
yeah, I
Well,
actually thought it was funny. And I think I thought it was funny because it was just so on the nose with the stereotypes. Like
mhm,
it didn't even try to be insightful. It didn't even try to be clever.
mhm,
It said it all. And I feel like that's a part of what saved it, because I think there are so many black stories set in the ghetto that take themselves too seriously. They try to make it like too real. I feel like we don't have stories about poor or broke black families that are funny.
mhm.
It's usually a drama. So the fact that they were making jokes, I was just like, oh, this is different.
We have them. They're just not. Well, we just haven't had one. I think in a while. I don't
Hmm.
know. Like I said, like
We just haven't had one in a while.
yeah, yeah. So like, but yeah, I gotta discern. I gotta use discernment on what certain sometimes on what like to support, even if it is black. You can't support all black. Some things or people that are black, you have to kind of leave to the wayside, like OJ. Speaking of OJ.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we got to speak about OJ. But one thing I do like about this Good Times criticism is that it's being compared to other black media. I like that we have enough black media out there to, compare our stories within our own genre.
Mhm.
And we got to talk about OJ and
Mhm.
whether or not he's an icon. No, I'm just kidding.
No, he's an icon. He is an icon. We will
He is an
give him that.
icon.
He's an icon. You
Okay.
know, Ted Bundy's an icon too. You
For the
know,
wrong reasons. He's a public enemy.
Yeah, Che
Should we be
Guevara's an
happy?
icon.
Should we be happy when public enemies pass away?
Uh, I mean, look, I'm not gonna be mad at anyone who's happy. I can't be mad at anyone who is. I mean, if you're having like a party over OJ dying, that's a little weird. But if you're like the one time I think I ever fully was like over someone dying, and I think I was in agreement with the rest of the world with it. Actually, it was two times. One time it was Osama bin Laden when the like literally America had a whole day of celebration when like Obama came walking. You remember when Obama came walking down that aisle? Like he knew he had just did something cool. Like, had that swagger walk with him. He was just strutting down that walkway and said, yeah, uh, my SEAL Team 6 has put a permanent end to Osama bin Laden. Thank y'all. And he walked away. Yeah, like that was a whole day of celebration. John Cena went on microphone and said, "Yeah, we killed Osama bin Laden." Like he's the one who did it personally. So it was him. And just recently, I think late last year, Henry Kissinger died, and many people celebrated. Like they celebrated. I think we talked about him a little bit on the show months ago. But for those who don't know, Henry Kissinger, um, he was basically the American foreign ambassador. I forgot like his full title. No, I think he was like Secretary of State. He might have been Secretary of State, but basically under his term as Secretary of State, especially under Nixon, Henry Kissinger essentially escalated the violence in the Vietnam War to the point where he was essentially green lighting like having entire tribes of Vietnamese and even like Cambodian and Laotian people just freaking wiped, you know. Literally when he died, like the people in like Southeast Asia were celebrating. So yeah, people were celebrating these people dying. And yeah, I can't be mad at that.
Like to the OJ thing, people are sharing this
Oh
meme,
yeah,
which is we got a white Bronco heading east into the forest, and that's OJ Simpson's Bronco, and it's the Shrek 2
that was
reference, the character
funny.
White Horse.
Oh my gosh, that was so funny. I remember that scene too. It's crazy because the Bills. Oh, was it the Bills? No, ESPN put out a They put out something basically saying R.I.P. O.J. Simpson, and the photo they used of him was not of him playing football, not of him acting in any movies, but a photo of him at his court case. Like the sports channel is using his court case photo to basically say rest in peace. That tells you he is not famous for his career in football. And let me tell you right now, OJ Simpson, oh my goodness, that is so crazy.
That white Bronco going across the heavenly
Yeah, God already put the
bridge.
gates up. Don't worry. That man ain't going. That man, I'm happy for OJ, you know. I hope he's looking up at us right now. Um it's just one of those things where he's when he played football, right? He was a first round draft pick. People need to remember how. Here's how good OJ was as a football player, and this is what people forget. OJ was so good as a football player. He had 2,000 rushing yards in a season. The man played in the era where they only played 14 games, and he had 2,000 yards. We play 18 games now in football, and no, sorry, 17 games in football, and people get 15, and 2,000 yards is still a rarity. This man got it with 14 games. That's crazy. The man would have actually had a ring if he was actually on a decent team in that era. Like OJ Simpson as a football player was magical, great, but he will never be known for that. OJ Simpson went to acting, and he was a pretty good actor for the most part. Pretty fun. Like he knew how to do good comedy. If you've seen him in the Naked Gun movies, he's actually really funny. Like I don't know. I don't know. He's pretty good at what he did. Whatever OJ did, he was really good at. It's just unfortunate that he was also really good at getting away with murder. So so yeah, it's I'm not mad if you celebrate him being dead. I won't celebrate. I'm just like that. That's crazy. We'll never know. I guess we'll never know, right? We'll never know who did it, right?
I mean, I think we know who did it, but I don't support cheering for somebody's death in that way. I think that's disrespectful. I think we all have an expiration date, and yeah, he died. We're all gonna die, but you don't have to be glad that he died like that. Like, oh yeah, he deserved to die. Well, we're all gonna die. So when it's your turn, yeah, you will have deserved to die as well. Like, don't like it. To me, it seems like you're trying to separate yourself. Like he was more deserving of death than another person when we're all going to die. So I just feel like I understand a lot of people disliked OJ for getting a wow. In my opinion, yeah, he got away with murder.
I'm not
But
opinion at this point.
some people believe he really didn't do it. He was acquitted.
And some people
But
believe that the
I
earth is
believe,
flat.
yeah, he did it. I
I'm
believe he
just
got
saying,
away with something. Like
he
murder,
got away with something. Like, the man got away with it scot free. The
I
only
don't
black man in history to get away with killing a white person.
not the only one in history, I'm sure, but the only one who's been publicized for doing such a thing. And I'm not championing him for it at all. I just don't think it's right to cheer somebody's death, like whether it's OJ or somebody else. And I definitely don't think Caitlyn Jenner was right for celebrating OJ Simpson dying, especially when Caitlyn was Bruce. He killed somebody. So it's like, okay, everybody, you know, we shouldn't judge because we're all gonna face the same fate for real. So yeah, back when Caitlyn Jenner used to double date with OJ Simpson, here's a picture right here. Oh, that's Chris. Wow, she looks so young.
It's so crazy to me because where's Rob Kardashian, bro?
Oh, Rob, I forgot he was one of the kids.
No, he's
Um,
not a kid. That's the friggin' dad. That's Kim. That's Kim and Chloe and
oh,
the other
I
one's
thought Rob was the
father.
son. Oh yeah, you're right.
About to say,
Oh,
oh my gosh.
you're not too far behind. Exactly. That was so inappropriate. Good. This is what Caitlyn Jenner tweeted. Good riddance. Didn't you kill somebody too? It's like, even if that was the right message, that was definitely the wrong messenger. That's just how.
I mean, yeah, if Caitlyn Jenner is also a right wing fascist nut job who hates trans people or doesn't support trans rights despite being trans herself. It's so weird. That's what I'm talking about. Like, people will have the door open. We had this conversation about the whole Russell Wilson thing. People will have the door open, walk through, and then slam it shut on you. You know, so you can't get in the door, and they'll be comfortable without you. Like, that's just what people do. Caitlyn Jenner is that person. You know, so them celebrating OJ's death is really hypocritical. You are right about that. Like,
Oh, thank you. You just said I'm right about something? No, because it's crazy. It's crazy. Um, yeah, so I definitely think it's wrong to celebrate somebody's death and saying good riddance as if, the world is so much better without them. We're all people, we're all gonna die. On that note of we all have a human experience and that experience begins and ends, no, you shouldn't say like we're better off here without you because OJ didn't affect us personally. What he did affected like his late
the
wife,
Brown family.
his murdered wife's family, and
Yeah.
they have to deal with that. So for
Mm-hmm.
me, it's also kind of a mind your business type of thing. Like, yeah.
Celebrities. What can I say?
Ah,
Celebrities. But yeah.
hey, we're more than halfway through the show, so you know what that means for you. Poetry news.
Hey guys, it's poetry news time. See, you keep put take no put. Thank you.
Oh yeah.
It's
Show us
poetry
those
news time.
Vaseline in those pores.
I'm moisturized, y'all. Hey, y'all, it's Poetry News. How y'all doing? See, I know we've been talking quite a bit about, being vilified and not liking your art or not liking art. How do you feel when you make, like, hey, Bellz, when you make something truly that you feel in your soul is truly not good? What do you do?
I do this.
Okay. All right. Well, it's exactly what J. Cole just did this today, actually. He deleted a 7-minute diss track that he put on his newly released mixtape. Um, okay. Where do I begin? For those who don't know,
Start at the end.
so J. Cole is sad because his diss to Kendrick Lamar was not good. And he knew it isn't. He knew it wasn't good. And so he deleted it. I started at the end. Let me go to the
Well,
beginning.
why wasn't it good?
Oh, because it wasn't good. I don't know I don't know what to tell you. It was it was so not J. Cole. It was very it was almost like schoolyard taunts. Ha ha, your album sucked. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, no, I'm giving context. So J. Cole and Drake on Drake's album last year, and he had quite a few, but his album last year, For All the Dogs, he basically featured on a song called First Person Shooter. And in that song, J. Cole referred to himself, Drake, and Kendrick as the Big Three, and that there are no other rappers above or on the level of those three right now. Now, keep in mind, Kendrick, who throughout all his albums, he claims it as therapy. It's him improving as a person, from Good Kid, Mad City to Pimp a Butterfly to Damn, all the way to like Mr. Morale, the Big Steppers. Like he's claimed it as therapy. But Kendrick, even back in the day, wanted smoke. Kendrick featured on a song on Drake or as early as 2012, before Mad City came out. So many Drake fans act as if Drake put Kendrick on first, and without Drake, Kendrick wouldn't be famous. But that's not true at all. Not not at all, honestly. But I digress. Kendrick has always kind of taken, not always, but every like blue moon, every every like multiple rotation, he'll like make a little snide comment about Drake, just to be funny, really. Like, ha ha, you're kind of mid, bro. Ha ha, I'm a better rapper than you. I want all the smoke. Please give it to me. And so finally, and Drake didn't really say anything. Like, he's not really trying to beef with Kendrick. J. Cole is the one who really started it. And because he tried to call them the Big Three, and so Kendrick appeared on a song on Future and Metro Boomin's current album. I think it's called I Don't Trust You or I Don't Trust Y'all. And the song's called Like That. Now, Metro has well documented beef with Drake. And Future, I think, might have beef, but we don't fully know. He might be like, with Drake too. So on this song Like That, Kendrick spits some bars. And let me tell you, first, this is an uncredited feature. So it's like we didn't even know he's gonna appear on this song. You don't know. It's a stealth feature. And he comes on the song And you have to listen to it because I cannot do every line justice. Like it is one of the best Kendrick verses he's ever dropped. It's good. It's really good. It's like top 10, top 15. Kendrick, but to kind of summarize, Kendrick says, F the big three, it's just big me. There is no big three. There is no you and you on my level. It is me and you two are under me. And Kendrick really takes more time to lay into Drake. Like he kind of talks about J. Cole. There's some lines about J. Cole in there. Your best work was a light pack. But that's kind of going for both him and Drake. I can't remember the specific line against J. Cole, but his bars against Drake hit harder anyway. Like when he said, uh, your best work was a light pack. Prince outlived Mike Jack. Drake compared himself to Michael Jackson because the first person shooter song reached number 1 on the Billboard charts, the Billboard Hot 100 chart, which is the 13th number 1 single that Drake has had, tying Michael Jackson. And he started comparison to Michael Jackson, and Kendrick said, yeah, if you're Michael, I'm Prince. You know, you died earlier than me, and your artistic legacy is not as big as me. You might sell more than me, but you're not a better musician than me. You're not a better artist than me, is what Kendrick is basically saying. F your number ones because I'm number 1 in the rap game. And that's what's important to me. And so J. Cole put out. Hmm?
I'm so sorry, but I just saw an update to this, which is Drake just responded to Kendrick, J. Cole, Future, Metro Boomin, ASAP Rocky, The Weeknd, and Rick Ross on his new diss track Push Ups.
So I was going to get to that. So
Oh, you know about
apparently,
that?
Not for us. How the fuck you big stepping with a size 7 man?
I didn't mean to play the
So apparently, no one knows if this is or isn't AI, but it was a leak at first. People assumed it was a leak, and are you saying it's an official song? Like it's not just a leak, it's not just some AI. This is like officially Drake put this out.
it's a full diss track and it's out.
But
I don't know
like,
if Drake officially put it out, but people are reacting to it. It's a complete.
because when we first heard about it and it got leaked, it was assumed it might have been AI. It might not have been real.
Oh, okay. Well,
So that's why I'm saying,
saying Drake apparently responds to Kendrick Lamar's diss track with push-ups. So I think it is confirmed.
well, okay, because J. Cole dropped out. J. Cole dropped out of it. J. Cole put out a 7-minute diss track against Kendrick.
Before the diss track came.
Mm-hmm. J. Cole put out after 2
So
weeks of waiting. He put out a song. It was a 7-minute diss track against Kendrick, and people panned it because they were like, these disses are juvenile. Like Kendrick just basically played with you the entire time, and this is what you could come up with, bro. And he felt bad, and so at his Dreamville concert that he had, J. Cole was like, yo, like this isn't me. I'm sorry for putting this out. I felt the pressure to put something out and it wasn't good. And I apologize. I'm going to delete it. You know, like this isn't me. I just wanted to respond, but Kendrick is great. Kendrick's the best. Blah, blah, blah. I'm bowing out. Goodbye. And some people applauded him for his, being humble. Others clowned him for starting a fight he couldn't finish. And granted, it I think even Kendrick recognizes that he's not trying to like get into a full on fight with Drake. He just wants to introduce more adversarial aspects to hip hop. He wants to build competition. He feels like hip hop is too buddy buddy sometimes. And he wants to add the level of competition that hip hop used to have, so that people are actually trying to get better with their verses and they're not just coasting on commercial gains. He wants people to actually compete in the rap game right now. And so that's why he's willing to facilitate this beef with, or why he's willing, why he's willing to accept and facilitate this beef with Drake and J. Cole. But J. Cole has dropped out. So really at this point, it's just Drake and Kendrick, which honestly is perfect because Drake versus Kendrick is like, it's the ultimate, oh, this is on his pro. That picture's funny. It's the ultimate commercial success versus critical acclaim battle. Drake has so much commercial success. He's one of the most commercially successful rap artists of all time, if not the most commercially successful rap artist of all time. Also, what a crazy picture. Drake continues to be a zesty lemon.
No, see, Big Worm, he was wearing that. Big Worm.
Big word. I mean, that's perfect because messing with Drake's money is like messing with Drake's emotions. And just like then Drake
always messed up.
Drake definitely has both of those things. So, this is the old. Like, meanwhile, Drake has so much money and so much commercial success and so many number one Billboard hits, so many sellout concerts. Meanwhile, Kendrick is critically acclaimed. Kendrick is seen as an artist. Kendrick is seen as someone who doesn't just make rap albums, he makes experiences. Kendrick has a Pulitzer Prize. He's the only rapper with a Pulitzer Prize for music. Kendrick is essentially, it's essentially like the artiste versus the director. It's like Francis Ford Coppola versus or like what's his name what's the name of the director, the guy who works with Robert De Niro a lot. I forgot his name. I can't believe I forgot his name. He's like the most legendary director of all time. Oh my gosh, how did I forget his name? Freaking see, I feel so dumb now. How the Irishman director. Martin Scorsese. What's wrong with me? It's like Martin Scorsese versus, Joss Whedon or Zack Snyder, some superhero comic book movie director. His stuff, no, Zack Snyder stuff might be more commercially viable, but Scorsese has more Oscars and more critical acclaim. That's essentially what this is, and I'm looking forward to it because Drake is always willing to give smoke when he gets smoke. So I think it's gonna be a fun beef.
What people really want is for Kendrick Lamar to respond because Drake goes at Lamar straight out of the gate with a few jabs. Here's a quote of his verses. Quote, "How the F you big stepping with a size 7 men's on," he raps. "Your last one bricked. You really not on hoop." "They make excuses for you because they hate to see me lit. Pull your contract because we gotta see the split. Ain't no way you doing splits. B, your pants might rip." I'm sorry. Like, maybe it was the way I read it, but it came out really corny. But people on Reddit, of course they posted this in Kendrick Lamar's subreddit, and the fans are just like, imagine if Kendrick responds to this. Just like, that seems to be what people are talking about. Kendrick saying something. People on X are like, yeah, J. Cole, he must have known that they had on him because he got out right before right before it got messy.
Oh yeah. Because Kendrick was going to pack him up verbally. Kendrick was going to pack up J. Cole verbally. And now that he's dropped out, he's like, I don't want no smoke. Just leave me out of it. I don't want no part of this. Drake is like, nah, bring smoke to me. I will fight you back. I don't care how bad the line is. And that's the thing. Like, Drake in beefs, I'd say, right? Like, okay. He took out Meek Mill, but Meek Mill was not a formidable opponent. He got beat up verbally by Pusha T, but that's because Drake tried to get too personal, and Pusha T said, but you a deadbeat father, so ha 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 ha. So, oh my goodness. So yeah, it's like, you know, Drake is hot and cold in beef, but Drake is willing to beef with people. Like, that's the key thing.
I feel like Drake gets bored. I feel like he's the most commercially successful rapper. I like the instrumentals in his music. I'm not always a fan of his lyricism or the fact that he has, you know, a writer's room, just because the genre of rap, it honors the writer so much, like the solo scribe so much. It comes across as like disgraceful to the genre to have a team brainstorming it, because, you know, it's supposed to be a solo scribe genre. But I like that he's willing to be entertaining. Here's some more verses of him poking fun at Kendrick Lamar. He pokes fun at Kendrick Lamar's guest appearances on mainstream pop songs and suggests that his former label, Top Dog Entertainment, demanded half his earnings. This is what Drake said in Push Ups. Maroon 5 need a verse. You better make it witty. Then we need a verse for the Swifties. Top say drop. You better drop and give him 50. Pips pipe down. You ain't in no big 3. SZA got you wiped down. Travis got you wiped down. Savage got you wiped down. Like your label boy. You Interscope right now. What would it say about Kendrick not to respond? Like, let's just put a wager. Do we think Kendrick is going to respond?
Yes, he is. He wanted smoke, and then he got Drake to respond. Here's the thing. Kendrick went on someone else's song off a sneak attack. He snuck attacked Drake and J. Cole, because he was not featured. Like, his name is not on the Like That song. There is no Like That featuring Kendrick Lamar. If you go on Spotify, it just says Like That by Future and Metro Boomin. Metro Boomin and Future allowed their song to be a Trojan horse for Kendrick Lamar to sneak attack and come in with one of the nastiest diss verses I've ever heard. You know, or at least one of the most well-written diss verses I've ever heard. And that was just a part of Kendrick's power. Kendrick, that was a feature. That was bait. J. Cole took the bait, got hooked, got pulled out the ocean, and said, actually, you know what? I didn't like this worm anyway, and went back in the water and swam away. Drake said,
okay,
this worm tastes pretty good. Like, this is what Kendrick wanted Drake to do. Now he's about to hit him harder.
You're saying Kendrick is playing Drake?
He wanted Drake.
You're saying Kendrick is the mastermind?
He wanted Drake to respond. He wanted both Drake and J. Cole to respond. Now, J. Cole took himself out.
J. Cole tapped out, though.
J. Cole tapped out. Kendrick didn't even need to lay an extra finger.
But you know what? Drake is trying to pull Cole back in because Drake said something about Cole in this diss track.
What did he say?
So he was poking at J. Cole's song 7 Minute Drill and the fact that he released it after streaming, regretting that he released it. So Drake says, look, I could never be nobody #1 fan. Your first #1, I had to put it in your hand. He's referring to First Person
Yes.
Shooter, which is his collaboration with J. Cole. And it was included on last year's For All the Dogs. You already mentioned that, Tay. But then he mentions Cole again in this diss track Push Ups. He raps, "Ain't that effing song y'all got is not starting beef with us. This S brewing in a pot. Now I'm heating up. I don't care what Cole think. That dot poop was weak as F." So yeah, he tried to get Cole. I don't think that was strong enough to pull Cole back in, but he tried to give Cole some heat.
Someone said Drake signed the war contract. That's hilarious.
He mentioned a lot of things. I don't really even get how The Weeknd is involved, but he put The Weeknd in the crosshairs, and I guess it was people are suspecting it's because The Weeknd appeared on Future and Metro Boomin's latest album, Still Don't Trust You. So this is what Drake said in Push Ups toward The Weeknd. "Claim the 6 and boys ain't even come from it. And when you boys got rich, you had to run from it. Cash blowing a bell bread out here tricking. F we do for B's, he doing for N words." And then he said something at Metro Boomin. You already brought up they have long time beef. He says, "Metro, shut yo bow butt up and make some drums, N word." So, yeah, I mean, he said something about Rick Ross too. Man,
Nah.
Look, I'm enjoying the era of female rappers. I like the beef between Meg and Nicki. I laugh because what I admire about those two is they always put it to their pen. You know, you could really go back in Megan's songs and like circle what you think the subliminals or what you think the shots are at Nicki. And then Nicki, she released a full diss track to Meg called Bigfoot. I mean, people call that like brainstorming over the mic, whatever. I think it's entertaining. And I feel like that's the best female rap beef going on right now because Meg Thee Stallion, I think she's a great lyricist. Like she's really good at writing raps, writing songs, and so is Nicki Minaj. So that makes it fun. Kendrick Lamar, we're so hyped about him clapping back because he's really good at writing. So his stuff is going to be good. I mean, Drake, I like that he's, coming with the heat. He's a little corny to me, but he's saying some stuff. He's saying. So I'm hyped. Come on, boys. Fight. The boys are fighting. I'm so glad. We're glad to see it.
It's crazy. Someone said Chris Brown just dissed Quavo. Quavo dropped a song a day later. Future Metro and The Weeknd went crazy on We Still Don't Trust You. Drake just dropped Push Ups all in 2 days. Cat Williams started.
Oh, really?
Cat Williams started the year of the negativity.
I'm ready. Like the boys are fight. Let the boys fight. Let the boys fight. You know what? Cole already knew, so he bowed out. He was like, "Let me just pray. Let me just pray."
Wow. The Weeknd, Rick Ross, SZA, and 50 Cent reacted to Drake's album. That is funny.
Oh snap! Do you have a glimpse of their reactions? Okay, first of all, before we get too deep into that, Tay, we need your wager. How quickly do you think Kendrick or anybody, okay, first Kendrick and then anybody else is going to respond in a track or song to Push Ups?
Kendrick will take as long as he needs, but I'm going to give him within the next month. Kendrick will respond within the next month. Will Rick Ross respond? I don't know. Well, I don't know if anyone else is going to respond because this is mainly Jake. This is mainly Kendrick and you know, this is mainly Kendrick and Drake's beef. Drake just decided that instead of, because like really Drake has beef with a lot of people over a lot of smaller things. Drake is
Man, the
probably one of the most beefed with people in hip hop. Yeah, SZA, she posted a clip of Nene Leakes saying, "Now why am I in this?"
Really? When I read that verse, I was like, dang. SZA is an amazing artist. Like, respect her. What?
Meanwhile, The Weeknd is like posted a picture on his Instagram story of him just like, you know, laughing.
Oh, sorry. Hold that up.
You're good. He just
Hold
posted
on.
this picture of him
Let me-
laughing on his story.
No, because it's hilarious.
Man, 50 Cent on Instagram said, "All you ninjas got smoked by a light-skinned ninja. Y'all better get high as an MFer and come up with something."
Wait, who said that?
50 Cent said that.
Oh my gosh, 50's all, yeah. Yeah.
When Drake said dropping Gimme 50, he wasn't talking about push-ups. 50% of Kendrick's earnings went to Anthony Top Dog Tiffith with his TDE label contract. Drake is literally telling Kendrick to drop and give him 50%. Wow.
Ooh.
Wow. Drake, you know what? I apologize. I wasn't familiar with your game, Drake. My bad. Oh, okay. RDC World had to drop a video too. I know. It was quick. RDC is quick with it. RDC World is quick with it.
Wow, I did not really expect for this topic to be so hot. I mean, I think it's so fun that we got an update. During no, because I feel like women get accused of being catty, but men, it's different. Yeah, y'all are catty in a different way. This is cattiness right here.
Oh yeah, no, men beef. Men rappers.
Wait a minute, what?
What?
Is this another thing? Hold on, let me open this. Tay, did you already see this?
See what?
Let me share this. What is this person talking about? Rick Ross talking so filthy about Drake in his outro. This is war. I don't want to play it because we're on YouTube and I don't want our video to get struck. But what?
I ain't know Rick Ross responded.
Rick Ross full Drake response.
Oh wow!
We need to get these briefings quicker because people are responding in 4 hours.
Oh wow! He did respond. Wow!
Rick Ross was quick with it. Okay, so you're thinking Kendrick is going to respond within a month. Okay, that's the bet. Rick wasted no time. He already had something written. I'm convinced.
They said they making Drake out to be the rap Thanos.
Huh?
They said they making Drake out to be the rap Thanos.
Somebody said Rick Ross body shaming someone is wild. Okay, I need to hear this. Can he body shame somebody? Rick Ross?
Oh.
Let me see Rick Ross. This is juicy. Oh, okay. So Rick Ross's diss to Drake is called Champagne Moments. It looks like it's about 3 minutes. Okay. Oh, hold up. This is hot. This is hot off the press. He said Drake got a nose job and sent police to French Montana's house.
That's, I think, why he's been beefing with him for a minute. He
He
he's
also
been
said
calling.
Drake got ab work done. Why do I believe this? Let me look at Drake's abs right now.
Oh my lord! Don't look at that man's abs.
I believe that. I believe, yeah, okay, I believe that. Look, Tay, look, Tay, let me show you why I believe this. Because Drake has never been like morbidly obese, right? Like people who are at one point morbidly obese in their lives and then they get in shape. When your body takes on an extreme shape and then you go down to a different extreme shape, sometimes you can do irreparable damage to your body to the point where you can't ever really even have abs if you were like really, really big and then your stomach becomes flat. Just like people have to get skin removed. But look, Drake was never like morbidly obese or anything. But like it does look like he got ab surgery. It does look like he tried to get abs constructed on him. I mean, I'm not saying it looks like he had a tummy tuck, but it looks like he's skinny enough to have abs, like he worked out, but he just I don't know. I don't want to speak too much on his body. Maybe he has a medical condition. I don't know. But I see what Rick Ross sees. It is I think that's yeah. Maybe he did have ab work done. Because it looks weird. It doesn't look natural. Someone says he'd be quick with it though. Gotta give him that. No, he was ready. Ready. Stay ready, you don't gotta get ready.
First person shooter, Drake and J. Cole just started hip hop World War One. And then J. Cole decided to fall out of it. Ain't no way, J. Cole. They're gonna drag you back into it, whether you like it or not.
Rick Ross responded with some heat in less than 2 hours. Woo! Now let's see. Did Drake really get a nose job? You know I need to inspect this too, T.
Oh my lord.
Okay, let's look at young Drake, and then we got to look at Drake in this year, and then we're gonna have to vote between the two of us. No, he can't be too young. Like Drake and Degrassi, he was still a teenager. You know, people's faces do change as they age.
You gotta look at Drake from like 2011.
Hold up. Who is Raheem? Raheem does look like young Drake. I mean, I would bet that he got a nose job. Because that's just something famous people do.
Yeah, that's true.
Not saying that he needed one. Okay, this is young Drake. Take a good look at that nose. Does that nose look authentic?
I'm sure it looks fine. The nose.
Okay, I'm trying to find a picture that's like a similar angle. He looks so different because he has a beard now. Like since he's become, you know, a grown man, he's had a beard. When he was younger, he didn't have a beard. But a beard does a lot to like change the look of someone's face. So.
And cover up nose scars, obviously.
He said and cover up nose scars?
Yeah.
I mean, his nose does look straighter. Hold on a second. It went from looking like a booger nose to like a straight nose. This is from a different angle, but
I don't know if he got a nose job. I mean,
I think he got a rhinoplasty.
I have no clue.
All right, 10. You know.
Yeah. But yeah, you know, that's been going on. You know, that has been going on.
Oh my gosh! And Rick Ross is calling Drake white. Uh-oh. Yes. I gotta hear this because everybody forgets Drake is biracial. He is a white boy. Yeah.
I've never forgot.
He's black and he's white, but we only call upon the black. He's also white. He's both. He's just as much white as he is black. If we call him black, we must freely call him white. That is what it is to be biracial. It is to be both.
I wouldn't call Obama white.
Then you must call him biracial, because if you can't call him white, then you should not call him black.
I call him black. I don't call him white. He identifies as black. So
What
his
does Drake
experience.
identify as black?
Black. Yeah, he identifies as black. If he better, if he going to keep saying the N word like that, he better identify as black. About to say. Yeah, if he looked like Logic or Mike McDaniels, then I'd be like, yo, you need to chill out on that. Basically, to me, it's about how your genes splice you. Because if you go through the experience of being black, then yeah, you're black. Especially in tenuous situations like that.
Okay, on the chorus of White Boy, the diss Rick Ross made to Drake, this is the chorus. N-words leaking they records when we speaking directly. If we keeping it gangsta, when you see me, you check me. Hold up. White boy, I see you. I see you. Yeah, check. That's the chorus. This is sounding serious.
Oh my gosh. Man, Drake needs someone on his side. That's why it can be an actual like hip hop civil war. So 21 needs to start putting out some diss tracks.
Look, Complex quoted this part of Rick Ross's diss to Drake. You had that surgery, that six-pack gone. That's why you've been wearing that funny S at your show. You can't hide it. Oh, so he's saying that his surgery expired, because when you get plastic surgery, it's not for life. If you get like a boob job, you gotta get those redone like after 10 years. You get a BBL, you gotta get that refreshed. Your body changes over time. I'm hyped. I'm so hyped about this beat.
I'm glad you're hyped about it.
You ain't never gonna want to be a N-word anyway. N-word. That's why you had an operation to make your nose smaller than your father's nose. Wow. Not him calling him out like Michael Jackson. Flow is copy and paste. Wheezy gave you the juice. Another white boy at the park that want to hang with the crew. Oh yeah, remember Young Money? And Drake was a part of Young Money. Dang, that rock.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Hey, we got really far with this topic. That was unexpected. We didn't talk about everything we wanted to talk about during this show, but I'm so glad that we got to what we wanted to say. And let me just make sure that the things we talked about were mentioned in our title, because we don't want to clickbait anybody.
Eclipse. Yeah. Good times.
Yeah. Okay. So we talked about things, and we shared some. Yeah. So I had a lot of fun with you tonight, Tay. For the new viewers of our show, definitely subscribe to Poetry Slam on X. We broadcast on YouTube and we broadcast on Facebook. So we go live usually on Friday nights. Tonight was a special night, Saturday night, but most Friday nights we go live. So if you like our show, you like talking, you like hearing us talk about pop culture and read poems, Subscribe to Poetry Slam. I'm K
Mhm.
Bellz.
I'm TayDZ.
Good night.